近期疫情嘅確診數字咧係有回落嘅跡象。
There is a sign of the number of confirmed cases going down. Yesterday, there
政府咧
were
係以正面嘅態度
6,000 cases.
去睇
The
確診數字
government
回落呢一個
takes a
趨勢嘅。
positive view on
我
the
哋各個部門
trend,
咧
a
都係積極
declining
研
trend
究緊
of confirmed
喺確
cases.
診數字下降。
The various
俾
departments
到
are
咩空間我
actively
哋去
studying
針對
the
喺機
room
場
possible
到港人
with
士
a
嘅
declining number of
檢疫安
cases
排，有咩
in
空間？
relation
我哋作
to
出咩嘅
the
調整？
arrangement for arrivals
我
at the
哋每個
airport,
部門都係積
in
極研
terms
究
of
緊。
quarantine and so on.
我
All
哋
the
會盡快
departments
作
are
出決
actively
定，有
studying
決定嘅
the
時候咧，
relative
向
issue
大家公佈。
to see if there's any
但我
room
想
for
強調咧，
relaxation. And when
我
the
哋嘅
decision is made, we will make
方
an
向
announcement. But I must
目
stress
標咧就
that
係喺我哋管控
in
到
terms
疫
of the
情
overall
嘅走勢
direction of our
嘅情況之下
strategy,
咧，我哋係俾最大嘅空間，
we
讓我哋香港咧
make sure that
係
we
聯通
could
世界，
keep the
同埋減少。
epidemic under control. At
嚟
the
到
same
香
time, we
港之
want to
後，
allow maximum
因為我哋
room
檢疫嘅要求，減少佢哋嘅不方便嘅。
to
咁呢個方向咧係清晰嘅。
to
第二咧
minimize
係
this
我哋仍
inconvenience
然係要
to people
確
arriving
保我哋嘅
in
一路
Hong
一遊
Kong. At the same
佢哋
time,
喺
we
呢
have
方
to
面
make
所
sure that
面
the
對風
old
險，
and the
所以接
young
種疫苗咧係
face
一個大
controlled
家
risks.
有充
So,
分共識。
therefore,
應該有保護佢
vaccination
自己、保護
is
佢家
a
人同埋保
consensus
護
among
社會必須做嘅，
us
所以呢個
all.
方面我哋要繼續努
People
力。
should get vaccinated to
而
protect
事實上
themselves
睇
and
到
their
咧
family
喺過
members.
去一
So we will
星期
continue
啦，
to
特
work
別
very
喺週
hard
末
in
嘅
that
期間咧，
direction. Now, in the
我哋
past week,
不
especially
同嘅
during
部
the
門同同事
weekend,
咧，都係去積極咁推
colleagues
動
from different
接種疫苗
departments
嘅。
were
特別咧
actively
經過洗樓咧，
promoting
有啲長者咧
vaccination.
係願意接
Especially,
種。
there
咁我
were
哋希
visits
望
to
咧，社
building
會各界
blocks,
都共同
and
推動。
some elderly
特別咧
residents
係政府咧
were
已經係
convinced
容
to
許
take the
公
vaccine.
務員咧，如果
The
係
SL
帶佢哋
government
3歲以下嘅仔女咧去打針咧，
allows
可以有半日嘅時間咧，
half-day
帶佢哋
leave
去打
for
針，
civil
幫佢
servants
哋
to
去
take
打
their
氣
children
嘅，亦都
under
希望商界咧
free
講下。
to take the vaccine.
誒，
We hope the business sector will follow suit.
特區政府喺管控疫情方面咧，絕對係明白。
In terms of
我
infection
哋
control,
整體
and
既
epidemic
要保護
control,
疫情嘅
the
可
SL
控情
government
況，
is fully
亦都
aware
讓社
of
會有一
the
個最
fact
大
that
嘅正
while
常
we
活動同埋經濟
try
活動。
very hard
亦都
to
要確
keep
保
the
香港咧
infection
係
under
有
control, we
競爭力
need to
去
allow
聯通世
maximum
界，
room for economic
減少
activities in Hong Kong,
嚟
so
到
Hong
香港
Kong
之後
would
檢疫
remain
安排嘅不便。
competitive
咁呢個
in the world.
我哋特區
And
政
so
府
we
永
need to
遠咧係
minimize
持正面
inconvenience
態度
caused
睇疫
to
情下
travelers.
降嘅走勢。
That's
亦
why
都最
the
重
SL
會
government is
盡最大嘅空
closely
間去達
monitoring
至上
the
述嘅目
trend
標嘅。
of
另外一樣
infection
咧，
numbers
我
and
希望
especially
我哋
in
嘅
terms
部
of
門
the
喺部署
declining
任
trend now,
何
and
嘅
then we
安排
will
之下咧，
do all
都
we
要係
can to
有序
achieve the objectives I just
咁
mentioned.
去確
Now,
保我
the
哋每一
various
次嘅安排
departments
咧
have to make
係
sure
順利，
that each time
以
when
及
we
我
make
哋將個風險
changes to
減
the
到最低，
arrangement, things will
將
go well, and we
有
are
關
able to
人士
keep
嘅方便
risks
度咧
to a
係增加
minimum
到最大。
while
但最重
allowing
要嘅咧，我哋保持咗呢一方面
convenience
嘅
to
一致性嘅方
travelers
向。
to
我
the
盡量
maximum.
希望咧，我哋唔需要走回頭
But then we want our
以下
policies to be
歡迎大家
consistent, so we don't have to
跟住係提
backtrack
問嘅
on our
時間，
policies.
請
So now
記
the
者
floor
陣
is
間提
open
問
to
嘅時候，用我哋
questions.
嘅咪去發問啦。
Please use
介
the
紹咗你代
microphone
表邊
to
個傳媒機
speak.
構先啦，同埋每
Please
位提
identify
問
your
咧係不多於
organization
兩
and
題
please
問
limit
題嘅。
yourself to 2
第一位提
questions
問
each.
左手邊前排黑色外套嘅
First question on the front row, the lady in black.
其實近日
I'm
都有
from
即
now.
係
Good
外界都講
morning,
到係
Chief
咪即係
Executive.
入境檢
In
疫
recent
可以
days,
放寬到零加七
many
啦？
have
其
been
實政府
saying
會
that
喺咩條件
perhaps
之後
the
會放寬到零加七啦？
quarantine period could
同時
be
間係咪會即係取消
relaxed
入境
to
旅客
0 plus
上
7. So
上
under what
機之前
conditions
嘅
would
核
you
酸檢測
allow
安
the
排啦？都
relaxation?
有啲議
And
員
would
提
you
出
also
啦，
do
要求
away
啲旅
with
客
the
係要安
PCR
裝一
test
啲
before
追蹤
boarding?
功能程式嘅應
And
用
then
程式
some
咧，去入
have
境嘅時候，
asked
政
that
府會唔會考
there
慮
should
啦？
be
同埋最
tracking
快幾時會公佈呢個
app
方案
for
啦？第二就
travelers
係關
arriving
於
in
即
Hong
係
Kong.
之
Would
前
you
都有説法
consider
就
it?
話
And
特
when
首
would
咧
you
係
make an
傾
announcement
向
on the
出
new
呢個豁免
arrangement?
啦，俾呢個
And
團
then
種去舉辦呢個
there
渣
are
打馬
news
拉
that
松。其
you
實呢個
are
説法啱唔
inclined
啱
to
啦？如果
allowing
係嘅話，點解一直都未
exemption
批准
to
呢？
the
其
Hong
實
Kong
過程中
Association
同
of
田總嗰個聯絡係點樣呢？依家有冇機會可以挽回翻復辦翻呢個活動啦？ 除咗渣馬之外，一啲即係大型嘅外國賽事啦，例如即係國際龍舟賽呢，都移師去到泰國啦。政府喺放寬防疫政策方面係咪真係嚟得太遲咧？有冇信心呢啲大型嘅國際活動嚟緊可以留翻嚟香港啊？最後就係即係最近都好多專家都話，即係政府要變陣復常香港，其實即係政府有冇一個抗疫嘅路線圖啦？有冇一個復常嘅時間表咧？
係 喺抗疫政策方面，我哋而家係個措施係3加4。剛才我都講咗啦，喺疫情嘅確診數字下降呢個正面趨勢咧，我哋係積極研究緊喺檢疫個安排裏邊咧，我哋有冇空間作出一啲再改動嘅。
The situation, see if there's room to make further adjustments to that policy. We hope we will be able to complete all the analysis as soon as possible, and then we could make an announcement soon.
喺我哋聽到不同嘅意見，有關於檢疫嘅安排，有關於上機前
on the requirement of the PCR or any test before boarding the flight. So we're well aware of such views, and as we make our decision, we'll certainly take into account all the different views.
細心聽我頭先講咧，
But if you heard what I said just now,
喺整個防疫政策嘅決定裏邊咧，我嘅方向亦都講咗俾大家聽啦，係希望保持一致性嘅，盡最大嘅空間同世界去聯通同埋接軌嘅，亦都希望咧喺個檢疫安排裏邊咧，盡量有序咁去減少佢不方便嘅。咁所以要答剛才嘅記者有呢個答案咧，其實喺整個過程裏邊，防疫政策、檢疫政策都係朝住盡量去擴大個空間，令到旅客不便係減少。另外咧就有關於其他我哋喺新方案推出或者任何方案推出。個中嘅細節咧，我哋喺推出嘅時候咧，會一次公布。就涉及好多活動喺香港舉辦，因為我哋嘅要求咧，而喺討論期間，我哋通常咧都係雙方面咧，希望達至一啲大家都同意嘅一啲條件而進行嘅。喺我哋政府嘅態度咧，係盡量係一定係積極支持所有嘅，包括運動嘅又好，會議嘅又好咧，我哋都係積極支持嘅。咁喺防疫方面嘅要求咧，亦都同每一個主辦者咧，每一次咧都係大家好積極去探討嘅。今次當然咧，大家都知道渣馬方面宣布咗
，Now, of course, the Standard Chartered Marathon has announced either delaying or cancelling.
希望啦我哋嘅專員咧同佢探討嘅期間咧，都有一個空間可以再安排新嘅。我哋對於喺探討期間，我哋希望喺處理嘅申請嘅時候咧，
Now, as we consider applications
俾佢答覆之前
for events, and before we give
大家
the
探討方案
organizer
再作決定咧，佢喺未等到我哋最後答覆而作出決定咧，當然我哋係失望嘅。咁但係你睇到咧，我哋係好積極希望exploring
possibilities, and then before we give a reply, the organizer then made a decision. Of course, we are disappointed with that, but anyway, the Commission for Sport will discuss further with the organizer, and the position of the government is clear. We would like to facilitate
運動嘅賽事又好，會議嘅城市又好咧，都希望係盡量方便，亦都希望咧大家本住咧共同為咗香港去創造價值，為盡量為香港去帶來翻我哋大家市民都好想有活動。雙方面都共同努力，我覺得係咁樣做好。政府係積極同埋盡量係希望喺我哋嘅措施之下咧，
working with all the parties, and we would like to make the necessary arrangement
我
as
明白
far
大
as
家係對於
policies
喺疫
permit.
情，我哋經歷咗差不多3年咧，
Now,
都好希望咧，我哋可以盡
had the
快喺不同嘅領
epidemic for some 3
域
years now,
咧，
and
社
I
會都可以
understand that
恢復
everyone
到我
would
哋喺疫
like
情
to
之前
see
呢個亦都係政府
a
嘅
return to
立場
normalcy
同
before
埋
the
政府嘅
pandemic
方
as soon as
向。所以
possible.
剛才
That
我
is
講
also the
得好清
position
楚
of the government. That's
我嘅
also
方
the
向
direction
係
we're
清晰
working
嘅，
towards.
亦
So
都
I
我
make that
希
very
望呢
clear.
個方向咧保持一
We
致。
know exactly where we should be
朝住我哋
heading,
同
and we want to be
世界
consistent
不同
as
嘅
we
地
move
方
in that direction.
聯繫接
We
軌。
want to
最
be
大嘅空間去
connected
做。
with
咁我亦
different
都希
places
望
in
咧
the
喺個
world.
過程裏邊咧
And we
係
want
會
to
有
allow
序
maximum
咁
room to do that.
去
And
開
in
放。
that process, we
但係
would
因為
like
咧
to have
喺
an
個整個過程
orderly
裏邊
opening
咧
up.
會有不同嘅一啲措施。 then during the course, there will be various measures and arrangements that need to be made. So we want orderly opening up because we don't want to have chaos in the process. Or confusion in the process. And then we also like to have better means for us to move in that direction, that is to allow maximum room for events to be held. Thank you. Next, please, to the right, the front row.
Questions from RTHK. So Yun Kwok Yung said COVID-19 has become endemic and COVID rules should be relaxed to return to normal. What do you think about this, and is the government considering to scrap hotel quarantine? And Hong Kong may record its second worst deficit at more than $100 billion. So is this alarming, and what will the government do to maintain Hong Kong's fiscal stability? And also international events like Hong Kong Marathon is called off and Dragon Boat race is moved to Thailand due to COVID rules. So what will the government do to allow room for these sports events to go ahead? Thank you.
The government's position is very clear, as I've explained earlier, is that while we will do our best to control the epidemic, we aim to have the maximum connection with the international world and also to reduce the inconvenience to people who arrive at Hong Kong. That is a very clear goal. And that goal, I am maintaining it in one direction, and I am trying all our best to ensure that we don't roll back any measures that we are doing. So the direction is clear, and we are ensuring that we don't roll back. That's number one. The second thing is we want to ensure that as we progress to allow more activities, we do it in an orderly way, so that when people go through the process, they feel comfortable with the process, and we will reduce the inconvenience as much as we can, because every step will involve deployment of resources, will involve ensuring we put into the right amount of people and the right amount of support, so as to ensure that things don't get disordered. And we will be actively monitoring the situation so that we will do this as quickly as possible. I'm conscious of the fact that while we need to control the spread of COVID, we also need to ensure that there will be maximum activities in society and economics activities for society to carry on. And I'm also conscious of the need to maintain Hong Kong's competitiveness by ensuring that we have good connectivity. So you can see we are doing everything in that direction, and we will be announcing the measures once we have made a decision about what we're going to do. So regarding the big events that every one of us have been very interested in, such as the marathon and also the Dragon Boat event, of course we will be doing all our best so that we will be having all these events to happen in Hong Kong, because this is what everybody wants to see happen, and it will create a lot of economic gains for Hong Kong as well. So we will be trying our best to talk to organizers of all these activities. Our position is very clear. We are very supportive, and we want both sides to work towards the goal of making it happen. So we will have to openly and directly talk to each other so as to try a good solution for Hong Kong, because it is both the organizers' interest and the Hong Kong government's interest and the community's interest for these things to happen. So I want that common will to be developed for the good of Hong Kong, and the government will work towards the goal, regardless of what the challenges can be. And as regard the economic situation, we know that the threat to the economy does exist, and there are a lot of reasons for it, including the interest rate hike and also the supply chain being disrupted in a lot of areas, and because of COVID as well. So what we have been doing is ensuring that the right injection is being made into stimulating the economy. So the next phase of the consumption voucher will soon be rolled out in October. That we hope will add to the consumption element in society so as to generate some economic activities, and also some relief measures have been introduced by governments to help SMEs, etc. But there is also some positive figures, such as the employment rate has dropped, if you look at the figures. So we should continue to have confidence in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong, despite COVID, our strengths remain, such as our good infrastructure, our low taxation system, and also the resilience of society. We have a very strong workforce, and we have a lot of competitive advantages, such as being the third financial center, and the common law system, which ensures that a lot of the systems and things that we do are very compatible with international rules and international norms. So we should be confident of ourselves while we work together.
時間關係咧，我哋答多一條提問嘅。右手邊前排遠啲嗰位白色衫嗰對記者。
The lady in the front, please.
特首你好，香港01嘅，想問下咧，香港唯一一間紙包飲品回收廠不獲續約啦，新加坡就即刻招手，邀請回收廠去到當地設廠，政府會唔會有咩挽留嘅方案呢？加上本港近日咧有咁多大型賽事取消啦，人才資源都流走晒，聲譽好似都受到影響。咁新加坡咧似乎就大獲全勝。作為特首，你仲點樣去說服香港人而家係由治及興？
針對個別嘅回收公司，佢因為嘅租約嘅完結咧，我哋嘅環保署咧都已經係接觸咗佢啦，同埋提供咗一啲協助，包括咧會提供咗幾百個地方佢可以申請去營運嘅。
offering several
當然政府嘅政策係支持回收業嘅，咁所以亦都係因為咁咧，我哋係主動聯絡咗佢，希望睇下咩方法可以幫到佢。而且喺環保方面大家都知道我哋有環保園已經係招標咗，亦都有營運嘅一啲公司喺嗰度。喺不同嘅我哋有環保嘅一啲設施啦，去做佢哋嘅環保工作。咁所以我哋係支持環保業，但係同時嚟講咧，我哋土地方面嘅提供咧，係我哋整個社會成日係關注嘅。咁所以整體嚟講咧，我都係攞個平衡點，確保咧我哋喺支持不同嘅行業嘅期間咧，我哋既可以平衡不同行業嘅發展，亦都可以喺我哋嘅現有嘅情況之下，盡量提供協助俾佢哋。咁當然我哋知道喺我哋疫情方面嘅管控，我哋喺譬如同外國接軌呢方面咧，係受到影響嘅。咁呢個我哋知嘅，亦都係我多次講喺我嘅政策方針咧。係向住我哋係最大嘅聯通世界嘅可能性，同埋減少我哋去連接世界。 因為檢疫安排而帶來
as well
嘅
as
不
to
方便。
minimize the inconvenience
呢一
to
方面我哋係
inbound
有
travelers
序咁
because of
向
our
住同一個方向
anti-epidemic
去
measures.
推進㗎啦。我哋係希望保持
On
一
this
致嘅
front,
方
we
向
are moving
係唔走回
towards
頭
our goal
而
gradually
大家咧亦
and
都係
consistently.
對香港咧共同應該係有信心嘅，因為我哋香港始終經過咁多年嘅風雨咧，我哋都係有我哋韌力嘅。
So many turmoil in the past.
勞動力
Hong Kongers have displayed
優
our
越嘅。
resilience.
我
We
哋
have a very quality
嘅制
workforce.
度係有競爭性嘅。
Our
我哋
system
喺
is
好多個領域咧，
competitive.
喺世界嘅排名咧都
In
係喺
many
前面嘅。
areas, we
咁我哋
rank
喺
among
當
the
然而
top
家
in
面
the
對挑
world.
戰，
Of
但
course,
係
there are
喺
lots
共
of
同努力
different
之下咧，
challenges that we are
我哋
facing.
應該
With
喺我哋
our
克服咗
united efforts,
不同嘅困難之後咧，
we
我
can
哋係
overcome
可以
these
係
difficulties
繼續開展
and
我哋
then
一個另一個台階嘅發展嘅，好嘛？
turn over a
多
new
謝大家
page. Thank you.